Well, today is probably one of the nastiest days to ride. It's just above freezing, like 30, or sorry, just a little bit below freezing, probably 30. Wet, also a little freezing. So, but I have to go out because I was under the impression that today will be closer to 50 based upon the weather reports. So I'm just checking my mirrors real quick, or fixing my mirrors, or adjusting my mirrors. And it's not. It's closer to 30. So that kind of sucks. So what happened was I charged my batteries this morning, anticipating that it would be 50s and I'll have a nice ride. I wanted to pick something up from the pet store and the general store, but you know, that's obviously not gonna happen. It's much different than that. So I charged my batteries, and the battery was close to full, about probably 90% ish or 95% ish, and I didn't want to leave my battery at 95% because I don't use the battery. I don't ride every single day, which means it could be at 95% or 95% for quite some time. Sorry, it's quite windy. And this in terms of taking care of your battery, obviously you don't want to have too low of a charge, or draw your battery too low to the low voltage point, which on a 72 volt system is 66 volts. You don't want to do that. But also, you don't want to charge it you don't want to keep it full all the time either, because that's equally as bad. Probably not as bad, but that's bad too. So that's why I decided just to go out in this nasty weather, pick up the stuff. And sorry, 1 second, just I fix up my headphones. Wow, it's pretty windy and nasty. So yeah, so that's why I'm out in such horrible weather, and this is pretty bad. Whoa. So there's a pretty nasty headwind. I hope you can hear me through this nasty headwind. I'm gonna help pedal because it's so nasty. Yeah, so this actually I'll talk when I okay. So I'm done with some of the errands I was running, and I didn't record, as I mentioned before. I didn't record coming here because it was just so painful to talk. It's a little bit below freezing at the moment. There's a really stiff headwind, and it's snowing and raining / raining. So it's pretty miserable conditions to be riding a bike. And the reason why I'm out here, as I mentioned before, is that when I saw the weather report yesterday, it said it was going to be 50 degrees. No, which I thought, oh wow, that'd be great. Just before the New Year's, late December, 40 degrees. Excellent time to run some errands on the bike. So in the morning, I started charging the battery. And usually I store my battery at between 38.5 and 39.5 volts. Or sorry, that's a 36 volt system. So that is around 77 to 79 volts, which is about 80%, 70 to 80% state of charge. And the reason why I do that is because it's good for the battery, number one, to not store the battery at a full charge or not store the battery at a low charge, but at around 70-80% state of charge, where I can easily just charge it up with a 1 amp charger in about 4 to 5 hours to full from 70-80%. So I had done that to 82 volts, and then I actually took a look outside. It was pretty nasty. The roads are wet. It's windy. It's cold. It's not a very good day to go biking. But in any case, I'm still okay. So there's still headwinds. I don't know why. I guess it's coming from the south, the north. I'm going east at the moment, so it's kind of confusing to me. Yeah, so I didn't want to leave the battery because as I mentioned before, I don't ride every single day. So I didn't want to leave the battery at 95% state of charge or 90% state of charge just to keep the battery healthy, because I'm not quite sure when's the next time I'm going to go for a ride. So you can see it's 31 degrees on that sign. We're just a little bit above freezing, or a little below freezing. But yeah, so that's why I'm out here running a couple errands that I needed to do, picking up a few things because next week is going to get pretty cold, like below 20, and I definitely don't want to ride if I don't have to in that weather. So that's kind of the situation with the charge. And I know people want to make sure that they're always full all the time so they can get going right away. But the battery is a pretty expensive part of an e-bike. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's fork. It's a pretty important part of the e-bike. So, you want to make sure that you take good care of it. the same as you would an expensive bike. So that means not stressing out the battery more than you need to. Let me speed up a little bit. On the way here, I was going around 15, 18 miles per hour, and helping to pedal quite a bit because it was pretty nasty. Now, going slightly downhill, I think I have a kind of a tailwind, not quite sure. But anyway, I'm gonna juice up a little bit to get home. The other thing is, I'm back on the 44 tube. So the middle gear that comes with the Cyclone e-bike. And the reason why it didn't work before and why I was having a whole bunch of derailments was because when I installed the kit on, I forgot that I had to take off the derailleur wire. The derailleur wire. The derailleur wire guide on the bottom of the bike. So the derailleur was pretty much just not working correctly because it didn't have that guard. And when I was doing a little bit of maintenance on the bike, I noticed that it wasn't on. You know, it's kind of flapping around a little bit. So yeah, so that was my bad. Yeah, because I mean, this bike originally came with a 3 front speed pedal chainring, so it should be able to handle, you know, having 3 gears in the front, being able to switch between all of them. And it wasn't doing that, obviously, because of I just forgot to put that, when I was rushing to get it done and, you know, get going and testing it out, I actually forgot to do that, to put it back on. Which is my bad. So now it's back on there, and I feel it's more efficient because there's enough sport. So now, okay, so before when I was on the 36, what happened was gears 1, 2, 3. So basically the gears that you use to get going or to climb hills, accelerate quicker and whatnot, they were pretty much useless because I can't pedal as fast as the motor can't spin. So I had 3 gears that were pretty useless, and the other gears I just felt didn't bring me. Okay, so there is some headwind. The other gears just did not give me the speed, the cruising speed that I wanted. I felt like I was, you know, spinning the motor way too fast to get those speeds. When it didn't need to spin that fast, it has plenty of torque and power at the lower, you know, at a lower gear ratio. So yeah, it's basically all about gear ratio. I think 44 is pretty good for me. I could even go 48, but you know, that's probably not necessary to do that. But anyway. Yeah, I feel like these batteries, even though I take care of them, I think they're starting to sag a little bit. I don't know how many cycles I have. I have quite a bit. I had them for about half a year, or actually about a year now, and 3/4 of a year. And you know, I don't usually tax them too much, but with this new bike, I am pushing them a little bit more than I used to on my 500-watt e-bike. So I feel like they are losing a little bit of capacity, pep. You know, voltage sag curve is a lot steeper now, but it still gets you around. Which kind of brings me to what I'm planning to do in the new year. So I won't talk about it now, but in the new year, I'm going to change. I have something significant to this bike. And this bike is making all these noises because of that stupid the chain guard, I believe. Not the chain guard, the chain guide. It's not aligned correctly, and I just didn't have time to correct that. So it's making a little bit of noise at the bottom when it runs over right here. I hate drivers, so that was pretty bad. I shouldn't have done that, but here's the thing. You are allowed 3 feet from this white line here to ride on the street. I was well within 3 feet of that line, and that guy just didn't want to wait for me to pedal like 10 feet past that so he can go around me. So he decided to beep at me. And if I can catch up to this guy, so I'm only 32. Actually, there's no way I can catch up to him. Yeah, I just, you know, it's just not us as electric or e-bikers. It's all bikers in general. You don't want to ride right at the edge of that road because, you know, sometimes you just might have a lapse in judgment or whatnot, and then, you know, you could spill out into, hit your head onto, you know, the pavement there, onto that side, wherever that shoulder thing is, that pavement, or the lawn division there, and you can hurt yourself quite a bit. So I'm saying, like, you don't want to ride like right over there. There's a lot of crap over here too, so you don't want to do that. So yeah, so that's kind of like the point of, and I'm well with, I could literally ride right over here. I'm well within my right to ride over here. But I like to ride on, actually I like to ride on this white line because it's the most efficient line. It's you know, it's the smoothest surface, and yeah, it's just a really good line to ride on. But too bad that jackass isn't here anymore. Yeah, but sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, in the new year, I'm going to change this bike up a little bit, add something onto there, which also brings me up to discussion is, I've been watching a lot of EV bloggers, specifically a guy from Norway. His name is Warren Nyland. Pretty cool guy. He rides, somehow, he gets to test ride or ride a lot of EV vehicles. There's a lot of them. And so from like the, you know, your top of the line Teslas to some of your lower grade like Nissan Leafs, things like that. So he wrote recently in his most recent video, he wrote a Kia Kona, which is a brand new kind of budget, not budget, what's the word? Entry level, yeah, I guess entry level EV vehicle, or compact EV vehicle. Not, but no, it's still a very impressive vehicle. But the thing is that when he was planning his route, he went like 700, 1,000 kilometers or something like that. When he was planning his route, he actually had to take into consideration headwind, which was very strange because I thought that most EV vehicles, you know, when you're on a bike, headwind is it's worse than a hill because it's consistent. And it's always, it's consistent, it's always there, versus a hill where you just go over the hill and then you're done. But with headwind, it's always there, and it's pretty bad. So yeah, actually, I had more to say, but I'll save it for the next video. Sorry.